broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Playing Tyson Kidd's music, because we have an opportunity to tonight from an incredible performance he had tonight on SmackDown. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Lots of guests, title matches, Survivor Series, WrestleMania, and so much more. Welcome to AfterBuzz SmackDown, everybody. I'm Christian Rosenberg. The lovely lady sitting next to me is Miss Kaori Takee. How are you?
Good. How is everyone out there? I can't hear you, so... Yeah.
Why'd you ask them the question?
I don't know. You asked me how are you, and we've been hanging out for like 2 hours.
You're sitting right next to me.
I don't get it.
And Rome is not here this week. He is actually in Las Vegas making people laugh, doing some comedy stuff. But we are delighted. We have not one, not two. We have 3 guests this evening. First off, one of the greatest beards in all the land. You can see him every Wednesday on Main Event AfterBuzz. He is that curtain jerk. Scott Narver's here.
It's good to be here. I was going to let my beard talk for me, but it hasn't learned that yet.
Well,
in due time.
Well, yeah, work on that.
Once it becomes sentient, we're all in trouble.
And
send a beard back in time to stop your beard.
There you go. Then the gentleman sitting next to Scott Narver with still a very nice beard, although it might not be quite as full as Scott's. You might have seen this man on America's Got Talent. He does comedy. He does magic. He does wrestling. He does it all. He's Leeman Parker, at Leeman Parker. How are you, sir?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we are very excited to have you here.
Yeah.
Corey is very excited to have you here.
Yeah, this is true.
And we have another guest that will be calling in about 20 minutes or so. But before we get into that...
Ooh, no teaser?
Well, I mean, if they've been...
How about a clue?
Well, that was a tease, right? That was the tease that there's going to be something.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if people had a heart and followed me on Twitter, they would have seen... who would be calling in tonight?
Bill Goldberg.
You got it.
Amazing. He has a heart.
He is, yeah. I narrowed it down. The person has a heart. So, before we break down SmackDown, what was our overall thoughts of this week's show? What do we think?
It was a low priority. That's what I think for the WWE. It just wasn't. It wasn't a big priority for them.
Well, it was... Like you were saying, actually, when we were watching in the screening room, it was the same location that Raw was in. So these guys got 3-hour Raw, an hour main event, and a 2-hour SmackDown. I mean, I would be wrestled out.
Well, then it was cool to see segments that they did in the ring. Like, obviously, the first thing we're going to get to is the highlight reel. But, you know, if that's the case, if they're not going to do that much wrestling, like, throw another segment or 2 out there. You know? Let some guys talk.
I feel like there was too much talking, to be honest.
Ooh.
Especially the front.
It was a lot of recaps.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on.
A lot of recaps.
So,
Well, we'll break it down.
well,
Yeah.
what did you think?
Do they? It's not all like they didn't watch all of those shows on the same day, right? They changed the
No, they they had like an intermission and then went through it all.
they did Raw, main event, and SmackDown all on the same like day.
I don't think so.
They were all in the same location in Liverpool.
Doesn't mean
Right,
the same
but they had
day.
different nights, right?
I recognize some of the same posters that I saw on Raw.
Stephanie McMahon
You
guy.
gotta be
that
kidding.
one.
Yeah.
In that case, that's too much wrestling. That's way too much
Yeah.
wrestling.
Well, they never go there, so they get it all in a day.
Yeah. We go there once a year, so you're gonna have to sit through a
It could have
marathon.
been 2 nights, and then people could have just came back
with the
twice.
same seats and the same posters.
Who knows? I don't know. I'm just really shocked that you
The same
know all
outfits?
this
We're gonna
stuff.
say people in Liverpool are either really devoted to wrestling or not creative.
I'm gonna say both.
I'm going to say nomads, so they felt comforted and had shelter that night in the WWE.
They did. They did. And we start, as you were alluding to, Scott, with the highlight reel. Chris Jericho is back for an interview segment. And he came in, highlight reel. His guests will be the authority, but he has some serious questions that he has to try to answer since he's last been here. Most importantly, who is the bunny? That's actually what he said.
He did. He likes the bunny.
He likes the
I
bunny.
understand.
And got a bunny chant.
He did.
He also got a Funaki chant.
Because that was his guess. Which was really funny. Like, all that stuff was great.
It's classic Jericho. You can't go wrong with classic Jericho. So his guests are the Authority. He's pretty much just asking them, Stephanie's trying to kiss up to the fans and saying, at the end of the day, who could run the WWE if the Authority is not in charge? And then Jericho's like, I will. And the universe would. I bet if we asked the universe, if they were in charge, would they like to see Triple H clean the toilets around the arena? Hooray!
I don't like this socialist angle I'm hearing is going on in this show at all. That's what happened to this. We need somebody to control it. It's not the masses, guys.
No, it's clearly yes and no's.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And then we get to see the clip of Stephanie being thrown in the mud by Vicky Guerrero from about 5 months ago. And Jericho's like, let's see it again! And Triple H stopped it because he's mean. And he's the boss, so we can do that. One line that I actually really liked that Triple H did say in this was, he said, the wolf does not ask to be embraced by sheep. Pretty much saying, like, I don't need you guys. I don't need the universe. I'll make my own rules. And Authorities win in Survivor Series because that's what they do. That's all this promo was.
Mark Henry. Thing.
Well, he's on Team Authority.
Right, but I don't know if he's giving everybody permission. That's what I do. That's not what we do.
For the next 9 days, the Authority has the right to use that line.
All right.
Smart guy.
Intermingling catchphrases.
Yes.
Yeah, and now I'm confused. So now there's a bunny. So now Team Authority is going to dress as wolves, from what I understand, from what you're telling me. And then Team Cena are going to dress as sheep and not ask each other things.
Precisely.
Okay.
And then the bunny's in there too? Special guest referee.
Special guest referee. The bunny. That will sell network subscriptions.
I'd sign in for free.
It's free. It is free for the rest of this month.
Maybe that's where can we cuss? We can't cuss on this show, right? They're like, screw it. We're gonna make this a really terrible pay-per-view because it's free.
Nah.
Yeah, we're smart, not blue, buddy.
It was gonna be so much funnier if I could swear, because there's gonna be a C-bomb, maybe an N-word.
It can be.
If we're having a guest call in, we should probably avoid that stuff. But no, I think they're going to have... I really do think they're going to have some type of surprises on Survivor Series to entice people to want to subscribe more.
So like the comic book cliffhanger ending?
Perhaps. Or a surprise... I'm guessing some surprise return. I don't know who yet.
Like Goldberg?
Like Goldberg. You stole my thunder.
Sorry. God. Which was a show
Narver!
Goldberg was on?
Narver! You curtain jerk, you.
Thanks. Good branding right there.
Hey, you liked that, didn't you? First match of the night, Bray Wyatt versus Sin Cara.
Jericho delivered. It was great.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that was a great segment. That should be said. No?
I was bored with it.
Ooh.
Didn't I go to the bathroom midway? I'm like, I'll be back.
You went to the bathroom like 4 times.
Okay. This is true. This is a struggle of a 2-hour show for me.
Someone has bladder issues that we need to discuss.
Tiny.
I know females, their ovaries rest on their bladder, so they have to go to the bathroom more than men.
Is that true?
The more you know.
Yeah.
All right, then. I didn't know that.
I learned it from watching The Doctors, which there's probably an AfterBuzz show for. So check that out.
If not, you should start it. Bray Wyatt versus Sin Cara. My entire notes for this match was Bray wins.
It took you about that long to write it, as long as the match was.
Yeah, this match lasted as long as it took me to type Bray wins.
He's lying. His notes are a little longer than that.
No, that's the promo after.
No, I see it.
That's the promo after. All
All right,
it
let's
says
not
Bray
argue.
wins.
I'm not looking. Do whatever you want.
There was no... usually they do the light change for Sin Cara, right?
Have
they not been doing that
he's been
recently?
demoted finally out of the light change.
Oh, gotcha.
It took 2 years.
They gotta ship a lot of equipment over to the UK, and the yellow gels for lights could not make it. That was gonna be way more money in shipping.
But Sin Cara's like, come on, I'll put them in my bag. No, they're union gels. We gotta...
Yeah, union guys gotta carry them over.
Yeah, sorry.
After the Sister Abigail, where Bray defeats Sin Cara, he gets the mic and pleads to Dean Ambrose to let me fix you. And right on cue, out comes Ambrose wanting to beat the crap out of Bray. And Bray's like, I see that look in your eye. I know you want to punish me. Just like you want to punish your daddy. It just sounded weird.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Because they've been cutting this stuff out of the Hulu version of Raw. So I haven't seen all the build-up, so to just start watching and then, like, I know you want to punch me just like your daddy, like, sorry, what's going on? What's the latest with Daddy? And then learning about the announcers are trying to catch me up on the daddy issues of Dean Ambrose. So, yeah, I don't fully know and understand what's going on. It seems like an element that wasn't needed, but I guess.
I mean, I do like the fact that we're trying to, like, reveal the inside stories of why Ambrose is the way he is.
Sure.
I just never am a fan of when they throw different family members that we're never going to see on TV in those stories. Like back when Jericho feuded with Punk and called his father a drunk or whatever it was.
Right.
I mean, we're not seeing his father or anything like that.
So you loved Undertaker stuff because we got to see Sarah. There was a tattoo on his neck. We knew the name.
She came out on the bike?
Mm-hmm. And then Brock Lesnar grabbed the soon-to-be baby and then threatened it.
And DDP stalked her?
Mm-hmm. So that must have been your favorite thing of all time because we saw that family member.
That and Dawn Marie marrying Tori Wilson's dad.
Oh, Al.
I honestly feel that's the second straight week I brought up that segment, which is really sad.
It lasted forever. So long.
Bray finished up the promo by saying, "You wear a mask of a lunatic, but you're just a child screaming for someone to show you the way." That was deep.
It was deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I am, and we're seeing a little more emotion, not just like the anger and psychoticness that we normally see out of Ambrose. We're actually seeing like emotion, like he's almost looks like he's emotionally hurt by this being revealed, and he's trying to ignore it and just try to keep himself, but he's breaking down a little bit.
And the holidays are coming up. That's got to be rough.
I know.
Yeah.
We now know about these daddy issues.
His dad's in prison, right?
Prison.
Apparently.
Why
yeah.
can't they show the dad in prison? Why can't that be part of the storyline?
Maybe they will.
Maybe the
Then
dad
I'll
has
be
his
intrigued by
own
it.
independent wrestling league that he started
Maybe-
in
yeah.
his prison.
Maybe his
In
dad's
prison.
already, like someone on the show that we don't know it's his dad yet.
Oh my
Ooh, secret
God.
dad.
It's the bunny.
Byron Saxton.
Or Byron Saxton. One or the other. Byron Saxton versus the Bunny for the rights to be Dean Ambrose's father.
I think Dean Ambrose's father should get like one of those Michael Cole sit-down interviews on the network.
Oh, God.
Where they just break it down.
The guy with Maury Povich is good too.
Good. So many great ideas are happening on this show tonight. I love
And they're
this.
free, just like the network.
That's
Oh.
right. That's right. Tag team action. The tag team champions, Goldust and Stardust, taking on the team, obviously a top contender for the tag team titles, in Adam Rose and the Bunny.
It's nice to see teams finally get a chance after paying their dues for so long. I think we can all agree.
I think we can also all agree that of the 4 people that were in that match, Goldust was the most normal.
Yes, I agree with that
Yes, that's true.
So Adam Rose has been mad at the Bunny. Then on main event, he was happy with the Bunny. And now we have this match. Hot tag by the Bunny. He's cleaning house. And Adam Rose wants back in immediately. And the Bunny's distracted. He's like, wait, no, I got this. I'm just going to do the Bunny hop off the top rope. JBL's claiming the Bunny is Jimmy Snuka. And I'm going to win this match. And we're going to get tag team title shots. But there was too much of a distraction between the two. And Stardust got his knees up, hit his finisher, and the Dust win again. And Adam Rose is pissed and delivers the party foul to the Bunny.
Yeah, this is a way more dysfunctional relationship between the Buddy and Adam Rose than Tyson Kidd and Natalya.
Yeah, and
It's
they
a
got
way
their own
more-
reality show.
Yeah, this is way more abusive. There's more yelling. There's drugs involved. It's not said, but it's heavily implied with the Exotic Express.
But the bunny doesn't mean any harm. Every time it messes up, it feels really bad.
He's adorable.
Yeah, that's what. But he keeps going back keeps going back to his dealer.
Hey, but Adam Rose keeps forgiving him. Like, he brought him in as a tag team partner. Why would he do that if you know the Bunny messed up a couple times?
Yeah, this is very bizarre.
It's quite an abusive relationship.
Leeman, what do you think? What do you think, Leeman?
About the relationship between
the Adam Rose and the Bunny. I mean, this is a pivotal question.
No, when I see a relationship like that, I just think, God, I want these two kids to work it out because I just see them together. And then every time it fight, it just tears me apart. Like, if they can't make it, what chance do any of us have? In this world.
I will say, though, the Bunny, it's kind of messed up, but the Bunny has made Adam Rose more entertaining because he was just
this is the best thing Adam Rose has had by far.
So, I mean, we're sitting here talking about it. We're talking about the Bunny a lot more than Adam Rose, but there's something going on.
What about this for a twist? What if inside the Bunny costume, it's Adam Rose?
Oh.
What?
How can that happen?
Or
I'm not creative department. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Or it's Dean Ambrose's father.
That's what we were saying.
He escaped from prison.
That's what we were saying.
That's the only way you can get out of prison these days. It's in a bunny outfit.
God.
It's true, right?
Yeah, it's true. That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Don't spread lies.
This is one of those shows this week, isn't it?
Great.
Yes. Byron Saxton backstage with Dolph Ziggler asked him about the fact that he has to defend his title tonight in a triple threat elimination match against Cesaro and Tyson Kidd.
Cue Dolph Ziggler's Emmy award-winning dramatic speech. This was like, he got serious.
He broke it down. Mm-hmm. He's just like, cage matches, title matches, monsters, Luke Harper now. They keep throwing things at me. But I'm going to do what I do best. Survive. And in 9 days, that's all I got to last. Because then Team Authority will be gone. That was pretty much what he did.
I just listen to it again all the time. Sorry. It's fine.
Yeah, because you love it.
All right.
That was a sigh of
overwhelmed
of agreement.
Yeah.
So
it's cool to just see a different side of him.
I love the fact that this is like even counting his money in the bank cash in. I feel like this is the biggest push he's had. Because all of a sudden he's in main events. He's, there with Cena. He's having big promo segments on Raw with Triple H. He's all of a sudden the Intercontinental title, well, being also that the WWE World Heavyweight Champion is nowhere to be seen. The Intercontinental Champion is the most popular title right now. Mm-hmm. And it's solely because of him.
Yeah, he's getting endorsements from those big guys, those big names. So that makes it mean all that much more.
Yeah. And we've been waiting for that for a long time.
So thank you, Dolph.
You say that so politely. Then we have like a little segment with Mike Cole, JBL, and Tom Phillips, who looks like he colored his hair. And then we go right back to Byron Saxton.
Why does that irk you?
Because he's like younger than me, and he's already coloring his hair.
Does it make you feel bad that you haven't started coloring your hair? And
you could do like
no, it actually makes me feel good that if he's younger than me and he has to color his hair before me.
How do you know he's younger than you?
He looks it.
I
mean, maybe this is like Michael Cole back early SmackDown days. He used to have to frost the tips of his hair.
Maybe someone in the chat room, tell me how old Tom Phillips is. I'm curious.
Oh my gosh.
I'm curious if he's older than me.
I'm hoping it's Tom Phillips that says like, I'm 31.
So am I. I'm 31 too.
Is that right?
Yes, I am.
I mean, you look.
How old
29.
did you think he was?
I look like I'm 14.
Oh, if you're watching on youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, Kaori made a face.
She does that a lot.
It's true.
So Byron is backstage with Ryback, and he's asking him, what's going on, based on everything that happened on Raw. You said you were on Team Authority, then you turned on Team Authority. Are you on Team Cena? And Ryback, in typical Ryback fashion, like, the only team I'm on is Team Ryback.
Tom Phillips is 24.
He's only 24?
From Grumpy Cat, so I don't know how serious this is.
What the hell would a cat know about ages?
Well,
that's cat like 24 in cat years.
That cat is guest starring on Monday Night Raw this Monday.
Oh, is it?
I wish I was kidding.
Oh, man.
That is happening.
I think the shark has officially been jumped.
Maybe when it gets into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, which will happen.
The celebrity
this year.
wing.
Yeah.
Grammy Cat will be in the celebrity wing in no time. So, Ryback, I found this weird because all of a sudden this promo that we had from him was the type of promos that we got when he teamed with Axel, which was nothing like the promo that we had from him on Raw. Mm-hmm. Which Ryback are we getting?
They're both entertaining. No? Not as much?
Well, no, they are, but it's just like one of them's a good guy, one's a bad guy. I mean, we've got to pick one.
We have a bipolar Ryback.
He's a tweener. He's a little goofy.
I hate tweeners. Tweeners don't work.
What? You don't like any tweeners?
Not many.
Name a tweener you like.
I mean, Austin, when he started, was like the closest thing to a tweener that worked, but then he obviously turned full-fledged good guy.
Okay.
But, I mean, can you think of another tweener currently?
Currently, no.
Yeah.
Well, Cesaro, maybe. It's okay. I was speaking
Kaori's heart just stopped.
I was speaking positively of the man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying like...
Last week you broke up with him.
Well, I'm reconsidering a reunion after this last match that he had, which was really good.
Oh, God.
Well, wouldn't you consider that Cesaro's not necessarily a good guy or a bad guy? He's kind of in that middle ground. He's not really defined.
I think he is defined as a bad guy.
Really?
I do. I mean, the way he's acted on commentary and the fact that he's generally been facing your Dolph Ziggler's, your Sheamus's, like they're putting them up against
He's definitely
top
not a
faces.
good guy.
Ooh, like the bad boys, huh?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you like the bad boys. What was that? And that leads us into a triple threat intercontinental elimination match.
Yeah, very rare for them to do elimination matches.
Yeah.
I guess it's to get you prepped for the idea that people will be eliminated in the Survivor Series.
Maybe.
I guess.
I
don't
didn't
know.
even think about that. That makes sense to me.
When they do Royal Rumble, they oftentimes throw guys out of the ring. It's like, this is what will happen.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that match in a moment, but we have our very special guest on the phone with us right now. You guys, this man has been around the business for many, many years. He is a WWE Hall of Famer. He has managed, you name it, he has managed them. The best hair in the business, without a doubt. And he is joining us live on AfterBuzz TV, the one and only Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. How are you, sir?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We are fantastic. My co-host Kaori here just got a big grin as soon as she heard your voice there, sir.
Hi!
Hey, how are you?
I'm so excited to hear your voice. Thanks for...
Well, you know what? We're in Santa Clara tonight, too. You know, tickets went on sale for our WrestleMania 31, of course. It's going to be on March the 29th. And Hulk and I just came back from the arena over here outdoors with Booker T and Daniel Bryan and some of the other stars. And so everything's looking great.
What kind of other activities do you guys have in store this week? And obviously the huge event, you know, Saturday morning, they go on sale to the general public. What type of events have been going on for you guys up there?
Well, I flew out from Tampa. You know, Hulk Hogan and I, we have a sports bar in Tampa called Hogan's Beach. And so we were down there most of the time, but we do all the legend stuff for the WWE, of course. We re-signed with them this past year. So I left on Monday, and I did Fresno, then Sacramento. Then we met up with Hulk. He flew into San Francisco on Wednesday. And we've been doing radio, TV every day. And, of course, we ended up tonight. We're getting ready to fly back to Tampa, Florida, and tonight. But everything winds up tomorrow. But so far, the crowds have been tremendous, and the response has been unbelievable.
What do you feel it's like now, you know, these last several years, WrestleMania has been, you know, taking over these NFL stadiums. Do you wish, you know, the earlier WrestleManias, you know, as far as, you know, a lot of the ones that you were a part of were in, like, this type of atmosphere?
Well, you know, one of the greatest I was part of was, of course, WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 1, 2, and 3, of course, and a few others. But WrestleMania 3 was 93,000+ people in Detroit. So it kind of had the same feel that everything has now. But, you know, we've just been blessed to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger as a company.
Mm. And along with that, you know, talking about getting bigger and bigger with the company, we have this, you know, this little WWE Network thing that this month is 100% free. So you got Survivor Series coming up in a couple weeks, where normally you spend like $50 on that pay-per-view. and you're going to absolutely for free, and that's really the equivalent of nearly 6 months of the network.
Well, it's just kind of fan appreciation to all the fans that have stuck by us through all the years, through thick and thin, and a lot of our people have come and gone, of course, and we're still stronger than ever. And we're just, so excited to be able to do this. And the network now is just getting ready to go overseas now to all the European cities. So it's going to be a tremendous boost for us.
Jimmy, is there a moment that you can think of that you tell fans that when they're so excited about the network and now they can get it for free, is there a moment that you say, you've got to watch this match? Something that maybe you were a part of that you say, go right to this pay-per-view, go right to this match, and this is a great moment for me?
Well, I love all the Saturday night main events that we were able to appear on, and especially all the tapes coming from Madison Square Garden. I love all the Garden matches, Philadelphia Spectrum, of course, and hopefully before long we're going to have a few things that we did in Memphis. We got a great video out called Memphis Heat, so hopefully before long the network's going to pick it up so a lot of people can see all the great things that we did with Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler in our early Memphis days.
Yeah, that reminds me, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, because, I love the Memphis stuff, and I would love to have more access to all that, and especially all the stuff you did with Andy Kaufman. That's something that fans always seem to talk about every year is, do you think there will ever be a chance that Andy Kaufman will go into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Well, I don't really know if he would or not, but I'm telling you what I would like to see happen in the WWE Hall of Fame. I wish there was 3 separate divisions. I wish there was an ECW. I wish there was a WCW, and of course the WWF for WWE, of course, because, like, for instance, let's just say if Sting goes in this next year, well, hopefully he will. Well, he's really never been with the WWF before, so it'd be great if he went in as a WCW. And I just think, and Paulie, he's done so many great things for ECW. I'd like to see some of the stars from ECW be able to go in.
Okay, question for you. So you managed the Honky Tonk Man during his IC title reign. So when you guys found out that he was going to lose on a squash match at SummerSlam, how'd you feel?
Well, let me tell you what really happened. We were prepared to have a 30 or 40-minute match, but we thought, what the heck? Let's just go ahead and let's be surprise attacked. And it was awesome because, it was so spontaneous, and the Warrior had so much momentum going for him back then, and it was a great thing leave the people happy, so it was kind of like, oh my gosh, we were torpedoed, we were shanghaied, what the heck happened, so it was one of those surprise deals, and so it turned out great for us, and we had a good run with the Warrior.
That's a crazy story. I had no idea that. That was awesome. Jimmy, you when I got the chance to speak with you a little bit at SummerSlam, I don't know if you remember me. I'm the dude with all the roses on his shirt.
Right.
But you told me, as far as I asked you if there was any one current guy that you would like to manage, you mentioned it was Ryback. And I was actually kind of curious if there was a diva that you would personally like to manage. Would there be one in particular currently?
Well, if I ever put a girl tag team back together like I did the Glamour Girls, I'd like to have Foxy. I think she's got something special. She's very entertaining. She's up-tempo. Even behind the stage, when we go sometimes and do the produce promotion on some of the shows, some of the Raws, she's always there. She's the first one to come by and say hello. And I just think that she's got a lot of things happening that hopefully one day they'll see it and really give her a major, major push.
When you first got the network at home, I'm curious, what was the very first thing that you watched?
Legends House, because I really never got to see any of it when we were filming the darn thing, and it was so much fun doing it. We were out there for over a month, and they had 16 cameras on us day in and day out, and you never know how they might edit or put something together, but I know it's one of the greatest experiences in my life.
So you created a lot of entrance musics for a lot of wrestlers. Which one was your most challenging one?
Oh, my God, being with the Nasty Boys. I love the Nasty Boys, but, oh, my gosh, it was never a dull moment with those guys. I mean, oh, my God, with Knobs and Sags, I mean, it was party with these guys, and just, oh, my gosh, every time we turned around, there was all something major happening with them, but it was a good thing. I had a lot of fun with those guys, and they were champions for me for a while, and like I said, every time I'd see Knobs every morning, it was all, good morning! I mean, Sags was just the opposite. What's so good about it? But it was a great experience being with the Nasty Boys.
You know, Jimmy, you mentioned the Nasty Boys, who I remember always had this unique ring attire and the jackets, but no one compares to the wardrobe that you had throughout your entire career and probably still do and create to this day. I imagine you have a whole separate house for all of the jackets that you have at this point. What have been happening to all these jackets over the years?
Well, I still have a few. We left some with WWF before, WWE now, of course, and gave a lot to so Sue Etchison up there could give them to charities and stuff. But I still kept a lot of them, and I have a big kind of a warehouse storage place that we keep a lot of the memorabilia in, from posters back in the day and programs and pictures and a lot of memorabilia and a lot of the jackets and megaphones, of course. And, you know, so we gosh, we've had such a good run. I love just keeping a lot of memorabilia that we had that will never be out there again.
Yeah. Jimmy, let me ask you this. For those people that have never been to a WrestleMania before, why is this one, WrestleMania 31 in Levi's Stadium, why should this be the one that people go to?
Well, I think if you look at the network and you see what you have missed through all the years, and I think it's something you'll remember the rest of your life. I'm just telling you, take your girlfriend, take your wife and girlfriend, take anybody you want to take. But
I need a wife and a girlfriend first.
I think it's going to be a great experience for you. That when you come back, it'll be something you'll remember for the rest of your life. Just with the extravaganza that's put on each year with it. It seems to get bigger and better each and every year.
Are you going to be there this year as well? Are you going to be back up there?
Well, we're there every year. A lot of people, we do a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and, of course, a lot of the promotion going into WrestleMania. Last year we were in New Orleans, of course, and, the figures just came out. And for the economy down there, from the hotels and restaurants and just everything else that took place the whole week that we're there, the economy of New Orleans is about $140 million that they wouldn't have done if WrestleMania hadn't have been there. So we're looking to maybe hit 170 or 200 million mark for the area around the Bay up here, San Francisco and of course Santa Clara, where it's going to be held here at the big Levi Stadium here, where the Giants play, and where the San Francisco Giants play. So it's just going to be great.
And let me ask you, the Hall of Fame ceremony, as my co-host Scott alluded to, as far as the celebrity wing, is there anyone particular that you would love to personally induct?
Well, if the Honky Tonk ever goes in, I'd like to induct the Honky Tonk Man, of course.
And he
somebody
should be
I was
in.
with for so many years. If the Rougeau brothers ever go in, I'd like to induct the Rougeau brothers, because they were a major part of us back in the day. Brought them to Memphis to cut a lot of the songs that we cut on them. So, it just, whatever they want me to do, whether it's sit in the audience and watch some of my guys go in or be part of it, I'm in. Count me in either way, baby.
Well, that's awesome, Jimmy. And I know you, like you said, you're getting ready to hop on a plane back to Tampa. You've been nonstop with all these appearances. We could not thank you enough, for taking a few minutes of your time to chat with us here, and just keep enjoying the beans and potatoes. And we'll hopefully see you soon, and maybe we'll run into you at WrestleMania.
Well, I hope so, and don't forget to wear that shirt back again, okay?
Absolutely.
I remember you by, but it was great. I love it. Dick Hart told me something one time. He said, just remember one thing. When you're on that stage, if you dress like the audience, one day you're going to wind up sitting in the audience. So always be colorful, give the people their money's worth. But we love you guys for taking the time calling me tonight so we could talk about WrestleMania. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Jimmy Hart.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart. Not every day we get a Hall of Famer call in. That was fun.
Actually, you do. You just don't always take the call.
That's true. We ignore him. We ignore him.
It's very strange.
Yeah, we don't normally take Hall of Fame calls, but Jimmy Hart's an exception. So much thanks to Jimmy Hart for checking in with us. And, he hung around, like I said, Honky Tonk Man, that Intercontinental title for quite some time. And that segues us right back into Ziggler versus Cesaro versus Tyson Kidd for that.
Good.
That's very
Did you like
good.
that?
That was good. Yeah.
Did you like that?
All right.
Real nice.
Exceptional.
Just off the top of my head there.
Okay.
That's not the top of your head.
You're right. I had completely scripted.
Unless that's all padding. Is that all padding?
This is a giant pad right here. So
you color your hair well. That's not real.
Yeah, it looks great.
So I might go out on a limb and say this triple threat elimination match might be my favorite SmackDown match of 2014.
Whoa!
Oh, you said match in the. I didn't know it was SmackDown. That's okay. So it's
Yeah.
looser.
Yeah. This was just fantastic.
Any other potential contenders that you can think of off the middle of your head?
Off the middle of my head, not off the middle. Maybe something in the top.
Okay.
But honestly, the cage match last week with Ziggler and Kane was very entertaining. They've really SmackDown overall, as far as physical matches, I feel this last month or so has really upped their game. I mean, tonight, this was really like the only main match, plus Ryback Kane later on, so there wasn't many matches. But the actual matches that are taking place have been really good. And this match, especially this was Tyson Kidd's first real spotlight match on WWE TV. I mean, he's had a few matches where he did beat Sheamus on Raw a couple weeks ago, but
and the Sami Zayn matches on main event.
Yes,
but this is a bigger show.
This is a title match.
Bigger audience.
He's there with a guy who's in the main event at Survivor Series, and
two guys, right?
Cesaro was not in. He wasn't named to Team Authority.
I hear it's the haircut is what held him back.
Yeah.
They
had him there, and then he shaved his head.
Somebody sent in a bunch of letters saying he doesn't deserve it anymore. Take it away from him. He broke my heart. I don't know who it was.
This is true.
It had the initials KT in blood on it. It was quite weird. But, I mean, we already know Ziggler can always deliver. We already know Cesaro can always deliver. People who know Tyson Kidd, that have really been following his NXT run these last few months because he was gone for so long with his injury, do know that a lot of people make the argument that he's the best technical wrestler on the roster. But we had never seen them all together. And this was just something special, honestly. And the fact that we got it, for free on SmackDown, I wish there was a build-up for it. I wish we had Cesaro and Tyson both won matches on Raw to earn this title match. So we had just even that little bit of build.
But you weren't expecting it to be this good.
No, I wasn't expecting it to be this long. I wasn't expecting. I mean, I knew it would be good because of the three people in it, but
yeah. But if they were
was
if they were
amazing.
teasing it on Raw, would you be just thinking, "Oh, I gotta watch SmackDown now because this time"?
Yes,
you would. Okay,
absolutely.
It's his job. He's got to watch SmackDown. He can't evade it.
I watch all the shows. That's what I do in my spare time.
This is Rosenberg's inner voice.
Wow.
That's what it sounds like.
Do people like my row shirts? Because Jimmy Hart likes them. That's one person. I need more than one, though. But he's a Hall of Famer, so I guess he counts as more than one.
Help me.
This is the Quiet Storm.
That's Kaori's outer voice.
My only question in this whole match was the very beginning of the match. Why are you breaking pinfalls when it's an elimination match? Triple threat, sure. Elimination, why?
They don't want to give up the momentum of a person getting the first pin.
Bragging rights?
Bragging rights.
I mean, it is really hard to justify.
It looks cool.
Well, it did look very cool.
That's the best one. No? Okay.
No, that was a good answer.
Thank you.
Because that's really kind of how we should perceive it.
Because we also don't have the, as you're saying, the backstory of these guys want it so bad that they're willing to, they want both wins. They want both eliminations. Or that fifth spot is still open for the Survivor Series match. So proving that if they can eliminate two guys, maybe that gets them the spot.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it all wasn't there.
No, but a lot of interesting moves were there. Like a superplex while Tyson Kidd hung on Cesaro and turned into a sunset flip powerbomb.
That was a really good one.
That was cool because it didn't look like how it traditionally looks.
No.
That move is coming, so it looked like this weird just noodles of humanity just kind of flopping around. You're going what is happening?
Well, normally that person braces himself on the ground to do it, and Tyson literally climbed over Cesaro to do it.
It was really cool.
Yeah. We had about 4 sharpshooters in this match. By the way, if you played the drinking game, take a shot when there is a sharpshooter applied, you would have been drunk by the end of the night.
Okay.
And I love, Kid locked in the sharpshooter on Cesaro. Cesaro, instead of crawling for the ropes, crawls to Ziggler to try to cover him while in the sharpshooter.
It's professional.
That's right. like he can pin him and tap at the same time, and then Tyson wins.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was really smart.
Yeah. Sharpshooter and crossface locked on Ziggler at the same time. I mean, we had a Cesaro swing. We had a neckbreaker and DDT at the same time. A zigzag on Cesaro by Ziggler, and then Tyson threw Ziggler out of the ring to get the pin on Cesaro. That really surprised me that they let Tyson get the pin and had him last longer than Cesaro. So again, I'm just like, wow, they're really giving this guy time. Mm-hmm. This is fantastic. As much as someone next to me was upset, and at that point went to the restroom again.
I really did.
She actually did. Once Cesaro got pinned, she went to the bathroom.
Because it's BS. Whatever.
What do you want to happen with Cesaro at this point? It
seems
very
things.
conflicted.
That question has a lot of answers.
In the context of the show.
Oh, in the show, I wanted to hold another title, and mean something.
He will, one day.
That's what we've been saying for the past 2 years.
And when that moment finally happens, I'm going to be really happy.
Hopefully I'll still like him. I'm holding on right now. Holding on.
I don't believe that for a second.
I'm curious. We clearly know who your favorite wrestler is, Corey.
Yes.
Leeman, who's your favorite wrestler?
That's a good question.
That was on the show tonight. I like
overall.
Damien Mizdow. My favorite.
You can't really go wrong with him.
Yeah.
Well, he really should have been on tonight. That would have been great.
Should be on every night.
He should.
Yeah, he's good.
Scott owns a robe of that guy's former
I
persona.
know. I've seen him in the outfit.
Oh, really?
He has a Sandow robe.
Oh, wow, Scott.
You're welcome.
That was smooth.
So it comes down to Ziggler and Tyson, and as soon as Tyson eliminates Cesaro, he slides out of the ring and gives Ziggler a hurricanrana into the steps.
Yeah.
And then we have another sharpshooter in there. Finally, some counters. Ziggler finally hits a zigzag on Tyson, gets the win in what honestly was like a half-hour match. I mean, it was close.
3 segments.
It was 3 segments long. Just from begin to end, fantastic.
You deserved the 30 minutes.
I was ecstatic they gave it that much time.
You gave it a standing O.
I did.
Yeah, and the screening.
Did he stand up, really?
Oh, and he was applauding.
Oh, yeah?
Started to wave.
I did.
Oh, wow. He doesn't move much. So.
I started throwing. What does that mean?
All right.
It's getting personal.
Let's keep going.
I know. Is this what happens when you sit next to me?
Yes.
All right.
I miss Rome.
Rome is making people laugh in Vegas right now. I'm sorry.
I get it. It's fine. Let's move on.
Okay. Layla versus Natalya. So we have Tyson out there for a half hour. Then out comes Natalya. And the first couple minutes of this match, all the commentators are talking about is Tyson Kidd from the last match. Mm-hmm. We had a couple of more sharpshooters in this match, which is why I was saying you'd be drunk.
Was this the first match that you can think of? I mean, they didn't give Layla her entrance, so they didn't give a British wrestler an entrance on TV in the UK, which seemed odd.
Oh, that's true.
And from that, I couldn't tell if there was a huge ovation for her. So a hometown hero.
It is also SmackDown, so they could have filtered that a little bit.
True.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a good response.
We don't care. Like,
or they really cheered her a lot, and then they're just like, wait, you're supposed to be hated. Because that sometimes happens.
Well, they gotta know.
I mean, on Raw, they cheered for Paige like crazy, and she was the heel. But this match, as soon as this match started, Scott and I were like, okay, we just had a half-hour triple threat classic.
Leeman jumped in on this too. He was guessing.
Oh, that's true. He did. So Scott said 3 minutes. I said 2. And Leeman said half-hour Iron Man match. And Leeman was the closest.
He was the closest.
He was.
This actually, they gave this a lot more time than we thought. And it was good. I mean, Natalya and Layla actually worked really well together. Summer was there, and she took a slap, and then like a battering ram. Natalya, I should say, got the win with the sharpshooter, but I thought Layla actually, she's always been hit or miss for me because she's very talented, but she's not consistent. But I thought she did a great job in this match with Natalya. Thoughts, anyone?
I think it's best match on SmackDown of 2014.
What?
That's my thoughts, but
Better than the triple threat? Better than Bray Wyatt and Cara?
I have sophisticated tastes.
Clearly.
There was
Drinking pinky.
there was a portion of the match which I thought was unnecessary, which made it longer, where they were not quite PG. It was kind of awkward.
Yeah, that's why it was match of 2014.
PG-13.
Yeah. Where can I find anything more hardcore than that?
On
Anybody
the
know?
network.
Okay.
For free. For the rest of the month.
That is true.
So yeah, this match had no title implications whatsoever, but it was a good match until I got the win.
With a sharpshooter.
Did this have Divas implications?
Layla is not on Total Divas. She's
Okay.
one of the 3 divas not on Total Divas.
But it totally did with Summer Rae and how Natty went to go slap her.
Yeah, because Summer Rae's on it
And Natty
and
is
Natty's
as well.
on it.
Right, but
Do you watch Total Divas?
I've seen it.
I watch it.
Natty
It's
doesn't.
good.
Well, everybody hates her, right? She's the ugly one in the show,
No,
right? Don't
no.
they call her that? No, I'm not saying that for me. Like they
you're
call her the
describing-
ugly one on the show, right?
You're on your own.
No.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
they do not say that, but I would say everyone does not like Summer Rae on the show.
She's the villain of the show.
She's the villain of the show. She's the bitch.
It's a reality show. How are there villains?
What,
It's a reality
I
show.
mean-
How are there heroes?
Fair point. Fair point.
Does this put Natalya in any sort of contention for the Divas title? Like,
No.
Well, Nikki's the #1 contender.
Uh-huh.
So she's getting the shot against AJ. So Paige is out of the equation at the moment. Alicia's out of the page at the moment, and nothing going on with them.
Did you say Alicia's out of the page? That was kind of cool.
Out of the picture.
Oh, I thought he said that. We're gonna rewind and see. Okay, go.
There's a new day upon us. Kirk Franklin and the New Nation were back. And this time, Kofi Kingston led the choir.
Kurt Franklin?
Have you never heard of Kirk Franklin and the New Nation?
No. What is this?
Google it.
Who has time to Google?
That's the Waco guy, I think.
No, it's like a gospel singer who, like, in the mid-90s, actually had like a few he had like a few singles that were like topping like the pop charts, but he was a gospel singer. And this just completely reminded me of that for some reason.
Oh, okay.
But so last week we had Xavier Woods, and this week Kofi preaching.
He's good at it.
He actually was better than I thought he would be.
But
at it.
Xavier Woods is better.
Well, Xavier's
I think that's debatable.
Okay, all right.
well, then debate away, people.
Well, because I think finally, like, Kofi's getting to shine through talking and doing something other. Like, he jumped in, so that's already exciting, but he never gets a chance to just be himself on the microphone.
Was he being himself?
It's certainly something he can
Closer.
connect
More so than a guy
From Jamaica.
to. More so than just going, what do I have to say? Well, boom. I'll follow that up with a boom, and then I think I'll close everything out with another boom. Cry in the locker room. He has dimensions now. It's exciting. I'm not bad-mouthing him at all.
I know.
Now the question will be if next week we get one of Big E, if he is still a part of this, or if it's just going to be them as a tag team.
Could be. It's not
Or-
Brad Maddox or Great Khali, that's for sure. I would love Great Khali to jump in on this. Oh, that would be the best.
If we get, oh my God, yes.
Noob bear.
Well, because they'd have to give him like a 30-second promo.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'd be
They'd have
great.
to.
Oh, if he was the singer?
No, if he played the organ.
And he carried it around with him like he's Lurch.
All the
Yeah,
pipes
I've
are like wrapped around his body. He can probably fill his body with organ pipes. I think he had a good one.
Why after he leaves are we thinking of all these great ideas for him?
No.
I'm creative. I have something for him.
Okay. Byron Saxton backstage with Ambrose, and Byron asks him if Bray is starting to have an effect on him, and Ambrose says if Bray gets in his head, he's going to regret it. And then Bray suddenly attacks him with a little trunk cart thing. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, a little
Road
crew
case.
equipment.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And then delivers a Sister Abigail into the wall. looked devastating. Also was the exact same thing he did to Daniel Bryan before Daniel Bryan went with him.
Was that a wall or a chain link fence?
It was a chain link fence.
Well, it's against a wall.
It's similar.
It was into the wall, and he hit him with a trunk thing too.
That's true.
One has ventilation, so one is more. It's got more breeze when you come at it, and the other one is just solid wall.
And if we're talking about security purposes, that cinder block wall is probably going to be more, permanent than a chain link fence.
I don't know. We've seen Dean Ambrose's face go through cinder blocks before.
Oh, that's true, and he was only out for a week.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, and it turns out he liked it.
He's a sick man.
Mm-hmm. Well, has daddy issues.
Clearly. Bray's told us about it. Main event time, Ryback versus Kane. Heavy hitting match as we would expect. Yes, I see that my Corey wanted to point out on my notes that Ryback was auto-corrected into Reebok.
Reboot? You mean Reebok?
No, Rebuke.
Oh, rebuke.
Rebuke, thank you.
Okay.
The thing is, why did it autocorrect into a
It auto-corrected
non-existent
into
word?
a word that I don't use. I type Ryback a lot more often than rebuke. So
Maybe your computer's telling you something.
maybe.
Like, hey, let's stretch that vocabulary.
It's time to learn something besides wrestlers' names.
There's nothing else in the world to learn.
I had told Damian Sandow, I wanted Damian Sandow to have a word of the day calendar that, would be...
I would
that'd
buy
be great.
that.
That'd be awesome.
That's smart.
Yeah.
It's going to come out now.
It didn't.
2015.
It did not. Now we're just going to have photos of his stunt work.
It would all be just awesome.
Yes.
Every single page.
So, very heavy-hitting match. Ryback eventually got the upper hand, went for the shell shock. Kane got out of it, spills into the outside. Kane grabs a chair, starts striking Ryback with it. Ref calls for a DQ. Authority is at ringside, happy seeing Kane pummel him. But then Ryback get mad, and he took the chair from Kane and hit him a lot harder than Kane hit him. And then we had a stare down of Ryback and Triple H.
Very close.
I was
Very
ready.
close.
I was ready for Henry or Rollins or Rusev, someone to come out and attack Ryback. But we just have a stare down with him and Triple H, and that's how SmackDown goes off the air.
Yeah. Very anticlimactic, I would say.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I expected something to happen.
Yeah. You want a big finish to that show.
Yeah.
With that match and so many guys involved in what's going on, and there's still the 5th spot to be named, and then it's just a stare down.
Even if, say, you had Mark Henry come out to try to attack him, and then Big Show made the save, and then Monday on Raw, we'll have Big Show and Ryback versus Henry and Kane. Just slowly keep building the Survivor Series match. Would have had some type of concrete type of ending to the show.
Shove anything, some words to Stephanie from Ryback, something to just, to light the fire a little bit.
Well, maybe feeding time was done and he didn't need to say it anymore.
He says his appetite is insatiable. And see, his computer taught him all kinds of big words.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently.
I rebuke that, I'm sorry.
So that is how SmackDown ends. Do we really need to ask match of the night, or are we all kind of on a consensus that it was Bray Wyatt and
Natalia,
Sakara?
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I go with the triple threat.
Okay, yeah.
Match of the night.
Excellent. So that is how we're going to wrap up this week's SmackDown AfterBuzz. Leeman, thank you for being here tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you for having
Do
me.
you got any events coming up or anything?
Look at Leeman Parker on Twitter or at David and Leeman for upcoming magic and comedy shows.
All right, fair enough. Scott Narver, that curtain jerk over there, thank you for being with us as well tonight.
It's a pleasure. I love joining you guys. I'm on Main Event every week on AfterBuzz, and then also you can listen to my comedy wrestling podcast, Curtain Jerks, available on iTunes and SoundCloud, and you can follow me on Twitter at Curtain Jerks.
Corey.
Oh, you can follow me at KAORIOUS on Twitter as well as Instagram. Next show is Sailor Moon Crystal, so tune in for that on Sunday.
All right, and you can follow me on Twitter at Real. I almost said my old Twitter handle.
That'd have been
I just changed my Twitter. It's Real Rosenberg at Real. I'm still getting used to it. At Real Rosenberg. Follow me on Twitter. Also, this Sunday, Indio, California, Alpha Omega Wrestling brings Unleashed, our biggest show of the year. Rome will be back for making people laugh in Vegas. He'll be there as JJ Steele. Former WWE superstar Mike Knox will be there as well. So hit us up on Twitter for more details on that. And a very, very special thanks to WWE Hall of Famer Jimmy Hart at Real Jimmy Hart for calling in, chatting with us about WrestleMania, the network. Really interesting question about the Honky Tonk Man match.
Thank you.
No, that was really good. I actually like all of a sudden I was like, oh, she's asking him about that's an interesting question, and that was not the answer I expected, which is great. So thank you all so much for tuning in this week. For Scott Narver, Leeman Parker, and Kaori Takee, and Jimmy Hart, I'm Christian Rosenberg. We will see you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
later.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only, do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.